What's up, everybody? Welcome to Just Chris's podcast, where we talk about the most randomest things, anywhere from mental health, random stories, embarrassing stories, and just basically any updates on my life, on my boring life. Okay. Honestly, I this is my first episode. I did have a couple episodes up before, but I did take them down because I wanted to do like a whole revamp, and I wanted to just like kind of come into this podcast with like a new vibe. And I guess at the time I didn't really know much about podcasting, and I believe my last I believe my last episode was about like 2 years ago. I know, girl. I know. I literally have to get better at that stuff because I know that this stuff takes consistency, it takes time, and I'm not going to get it down on the first time. So, yeah, so I decided that I wanted to revamp my podcast and basically just use it as like a source of like, or not source, but just like a place where I could come and like decompress and just talk about stuff that's like been on my mind and stuff. And, I guess I'm just gonna think about this as like my own little personal diary. I do journal and stuff like that, but girl, that's not enough. Like, I gotta be like talking to somebody or talking to something. But welcome to my podcast. This is gonna be my first episode, and I'm so excited to just like start podcasting more often and just like get some things off my chest because, girl, like, I know a lot of us be going through some stuff, and I know that most of us probably keep that stuff to ourselves, and like we don't really talk to people. Or I don't know about you guys, but for me at least, I struggle with like talking to people and reaching out to like my friends and stuff. And I know that that sucks because they tell you to talk to people, they tell you to not like hold stuff in, and it's good to just like talk to people. But I don't know why I can't get into the habit. So I was like, let me just like revamp my podcast and let me just get back into it. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about, and I guess just want to start off by saying that if you guys are like going through anything and you guys feel like you are alone, you're not. I can guarantee you everybody out here is probably feeling the same way as you are. And like myself, I'm trying to get better at like talking to people and just saying how I feel because I struggle with that, and I know that I'm probably not the only one that does. I don't want this to just I don't want this podcast to just be like all like deep and like sensitive and just like have a lot of conversations about this topic. But I do want to shine some light on it because, like I said, I know it's something that we all probably struggle with. And my hopes of this podcast is to connect with some of you guys who probably feel like that and kind of give you guys some sort of comfort knowing that, there's like you're not alone. And that's basically the first thing that I kind of want to say. And then also, I also want to talk about a little bit, but okay, that's going to be one common theme that's going to happen on this podcast is I'm still learning how to talk. I am still trying to get better at like my enunciation and my speech and not use filler words like and stuff like that. So, girl, we're going to be learning this shit together, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some background about myself. So, my name's Chris. I'm 24 years old. I live in California in a small town. If you guys are watching and you guys like know me personally, hey girl. But if you guys don't know me, I am an entrepreneur, actor, singer. I'm just kidding. I'm not. I literally just work at a fucking warehouse, and I'm doing content creation on the side because that's always been a goal of mine to build a community one day, and hopefully one day this becomes like my full-time job, and that's like literally been my goal since I was like a little kid, my dream. And girl, I'm not gonna give up. Another thing too, I still live with my parents, and there's a whole bunch of heads living here. So if you guys hear noise in the background, that's what that is. My mom is always yelling at my brothers. My mom is always yelling at my dogs. We have like hella dogs here and everything. But there I go again with the filler words. But as you could see by the title of this episode, today we're going to be talking about anxiety and how learning to navigate a sober life. So I'm going to give you guys some more background on that in a second. But before I do get into that, I also do have a second channel where I upload like vlogs, and also like just challenge videos, or not necessarily challenge videos, but like just fun videos like about my life and stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, go check that out. But let me give you guys some background on my anxiety and stuff. So anxiety is nothing new to me. I've been dealing with anxiety since I want to say high school, like freshman year, around that time. So when I was younger, I guess I didn't really know what anxiety was, right? Like I would hear like anxiety this, anxiety that, and like anxiety is when you're anxious or when you're scared, and I guess like that's what I thought it was like around that time. But it didn't really affect me how it did up until like in my recent years, I want to say, because I don't know, guys. I feel like my upbringing or my coming up story or whatever is, I grew up like in not the best financial household, I guess. Like we really struggled with money growing up, and low key, like we're still struggling with money to this day. But it was a lot harder back then. I have a lot of siblings. There's five. It's five of us in total here living with my mom and dad. And when we were younger and my parents had to like really like go out of their way to provide for us, and knowing that and dealing with that at like a young age, I guess kind of made me aware of like the struggles that occurred in like households like that. Not only like in my household, but just like the lower class, just that attention was brought to me at a very young age. And so I guess like I want to say maybe that was like kind of the first like time where I really noticed anxiety was like a thing, because I was always like overthinking and wondering like what's next, or worrying about the next thing that we were going to struggle with. And anxiety to me has always been a reoccurring thing, but I didn't really know much about like I said, until like my like later years. But anxiety fucking sucks. I want to also say that like me smoking, because I've been smoking weed since I want to say probably 8th grade was the first time that I tried it. And I didn't really start smoking consistently until I want to say maybe like sophomore year going into junior year. I had some friends that smoked, and at that time, I believe I went into independent studies, which, if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically like where you do school online. And I got a job at the age of 16. So I was already, like I said, I already started like basically living my life at like a young age, like 16. So from 16 to now, like I've been working, and I'm 24 right now. So I've been doing that for like about 8 years. I've been smoking for 8 years consistently, nonstop, every day. And because of my anxiety recently, I had to stop completely. And as of right now, I'm 10 days sober. I honestly have not felt better. I can't believe that I'm actually 10 days sober. I can't remember the last time that I was sober. And for the longest time, I didn't think that I could do it. And I'm finally to a place where like I could say that I fucking did it. And before I get more into that, I'm gonna tell you guys like a situation that happened with me recently that really just opened up my eyes to everything. So I want to say like the last month or so, I've kind of been struggling a lot with like myself, my body image, my confidence, just the way that I feel about myself, right? And I found myself kind of just looking for shortcuts in order to feel better about myself. And I also want to say that I'm in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for 4 years. And throughout my whole relationship, like my self image is something that I've always struggled with as well. And I guess like the past month or so, I was going through like a rough patch in my relationship. And because of that rough patch, I decided to take a break with my partner for a little bit until we like kind of figured out like what we wanted in life and such and such. And I was just really struggling with myself. Like I didn't really know what I wanted in life. I didn't know if I was just very unsure about a lot of things. And during that break, I want to say, I guess I was experimenting because before my partner, I didn't really see anybody. And my partner is the only person I know, the only person I've ever been with. And my partner isn't the same as me, I guess. Like, we're just, I don't know how to say it without it sounding like so, like, basically we have different paths, right? And that was something that I've always struggled with. And because of that, I feel like I built this anxiety, and I've always felt less. I've always felt like there were people better than me, and I just wasn't secure with myself. And because of that, like I struggled a lot these past 4 years. And because of that, that's what led to the little break that we took. And during that time that I was kind of like alone and stuff, I was experimenting a little bit. And because of that, it just really messed with my head a lot. There was like people telling me things that really fucked with my head, and it was just horrible. And because of that, I just felt really disgusted with myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt that I was ugly, and I didn't think anybody could ever like want me because of like the way I looked and stuff. And first of all, I just want to say that none of that shit fucking matters, and you are beautiful just the way you are, and you don't ever have to like beat yourself up or make yourself think that you need to look a certain way to like fit the standards, because fuck the standards. That is literally nothing but like something that society created, and it literally does not mean anything. And your looks or whatever do not determine your worth. And I just want to say that before I continue like the rest of the story. But because of that, I really pushed myself to the extreme. And literally what my day-to-day life looked like for like 2-3 weeks was I was going to the gym 6 days a week. I was not eating. I was not getting my sleep. I was smoking a lot, and I was also working a full-time job, which I work 10-hour shifts. And because of all that, and then just being stressed and just overthinking, and just it just put me in like a very depressive state. And I developed like severe anxiety that I have never felt ever in my whole entire life. This is like the first time that I've ever felt something so defeating. I just don't know how to explain it. I'd never felt this feeling before. Um so this one night I was just sitting at home, and I had smoked a little bit, and out of nowhere, I guess, I noticed that like my heartbeat was like a little off. And I've had moments before, or I've had problems in the past where like I get a pain like in my chest, and like it hurts for a little bit, but then it goes away. But this was something that I've never felt before. So my heart, I started noticing that it was like beating like a little weird, and it would like go, and then it would like stop, and then it would just like go again and stop. So I just remember I was sitting here and I was eating my food, and then my heart skipped a little beat, and I was like, oh, like that's weird, right? So then I'm like sitting here, I lay down, and then I noticed that my heart is just like beating faster. And I was high, I had smoked, and I was just telling myself, oh, like I'm probably just high, like I'm probably just like over exaggerating, maybe I'm just tweaking, like it's like nothing serious, right? So I'm sitting here, or actually I'm laying down, I'm like trying to control my breathing, and my heart just won't stop beating fast. And so at this point I'm starting to get a little worried, because I don't want nothing to happen to me. I'm like just confused on why like this is happening. And so I'm drinking water, I'm doing everything that I can. I went to go take a cold shower, because they say that cold showers like help like regulate your heart rate and stuff. So I did that, got out of the shower, was still feeling very uneasy. And then I'm trying to lay down, go to sleep, and like I'm trying to go to sleep, and my heart is just beating fast. Like I'm literally doing nothing, just trying to go to bed. There should be no reason as to why my heart is beating this fast. And so I start panicking a little bit, and I'm like, something's wrong. Like there's something wrong with me right now, and I don't know what it is. So I'm starting to get like really scared at this point, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna have a heart attack, because I don't know like what symptoms, or like what are some signs of like you having a heart attack. But I just remember at this point, like my hands are like shaking, and I'm like getting pale, and I'm like sweating, and I get up, and I tell my brother, I'm like, Giovanni, you gotta call 911. Like, I don't feel good. So he calls 911. I'm sitting in the living room. They go tell my mom. Everyone is like rushing to me, trying to make sure that I'm okay. And I shit you not, my heart is beating so fucking fast that dude, like you could probably hear how fast my heart is beating from like a distance. And at this point, I'm sitting in the living room waiting for the ambulance to come, and I'm just shaking so bad, like so fucking bad. I've never felt anything like this ever before in my whole entire life. My heart's beating so fucking fast. I'm shaking, I'm sweating. At this point, I can't even stand up anymore. And I'm on the phone with the 911 dispatcher, and she's telling me to calm down. And then like I just start crying. I just start crying to her. I'm letting her know that like times, oh my god, I literally don't want to cry because I literally feel so bad for myself. Literally, guys, like please, like if you guys are going through stuff, like talk to someone. It's better to talk to someone even if you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. Like just talk to somebody, because when I tell you, when I was on the phone with the 911 dispatcher and I was telling her that like times have been hard, really hard for me, and I just felt alone, and the comfort that she was giving me and telling me that like it's okay and that I'm not alone, like that, it made me feel better knowing that like I wasn't the only one. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like just breaking down, crying to her. The next thing I know, the ambulance is here. They're putting all sorts of like stickers on me. I'm hooked up to a machine at this point. They're telling me that I'm having an anxiety attack, and they're asking me what I want to do. And then I tell them that I want to go to the hospital because like I don't know like what's wrong with me. Like I've never felt anything like this ever before. And since I couldn't stand up, they literally had to carry me on the stretcher. They're carrying me outside. They put me in the ambulance. We're sitting outside my house, and they're checking my heart rate, my blood pressure, everything. And I'm sitting there just looking up at the lights in the ambulance, and they tell me, all your signs are okay. There's nothing wrong with your heart. You're perfectly healthy. You're okay. And I don't know what had happened, but the moment they told me that I was okay, I just like started fucking crying and bawling my eyes out so fucking hard, because in that moment I realized like damn, there's something like wrong with me up here then, because just knowing that like I was healthy and there's nothing wrong with my heart, it kind of just opened up my eyes a little bit, and I was like damn, like I'm really struggling mentally. And I had never ever gotten to a point where like I felt the need to call 911, and I just like start venting to them, and the paramedics are so fucking nice to me. I will never ever forget the comfort that they gave me that night. And I was just telling them that I was struggling with like myself, and how I had just been going through a lot the past couple of weeks, and I was just burnt out. And they told me that what had happened was an anxiety attack due to the amount of stress that I had, and because of the overworking that I did on my body. And they told me that if I had ever considered getting help. And damn, you know, like when the paramedics are telling you like, have you ever thought about getting help, like you just know in that moment like damn, like I really need to go see a therapist or something, and I really gotta like navigate how I'm feeling, because that shit is real. And I had never in a million years thought that I would ever be in that position. Like I I don't know, I was like in awe of it all. Like it was just a big eye opener for me. And even in the ambulance, like my heart rate would like start beating fast again, and then it would calm down, because it's like I'm good. Like there's nothing wrong with my vitals or anything like that with my heart. There's literally nothing wrong. So what I'm feeling is just anxiety. And I tell them that I don't want to go to the hospital, that I'm okay, and I think I'm deciding that I just want to stay. And I just walk out of the ambulance. My whole family is outside. They're waiting for me to get out of the ambulance. And the minute I step out and see everybody just out there looking at me, again, I just start bawling my eyes out. And I had never ever seen my family comfort me the way that they did that night. Every single one of my siblings, my parents, everyone was hugging me, telling me that like I'm okay and that they love me and that they're there for me. And I get into the house, I'm sitting in the living room and I'm just crying and I'm just telling them like I'm so fucking sad. I hate the way that I feel right now. I hate the way that I feel about my body and just the way I look, and I feel alone. And I had never seen my family be there for me like that night. And if you guys are listening, like I fucking love you guys so much, and I'm never ever gonna forget the comfort that everyone gave me that night. And it really, really fucking meant a lot to me. Like they have no idea. I love them so much, and I know that I don't express that a lot, but I really do love them so much. And after that night, that night I went to my room, I went to sleep, and then I woke up the next day and I was like, girl, I'm gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna literally stop smoking. And I want to say like a couple nights after that night, I I thought that I could still smoke, and I tried smoking for a little bit. Like some days I would be okay, but then like I would have that feeling of like the panic, because they say that once you have that bad like experience, anytime you do it, you're always gonna feel like that. And so I did it a couple nights. I was good, and then girl, another fucking night I had smoked, and I think I'm just traumatized at this point because that night was so scary that anytime that I smoke, it just reminds me of that night. And so I had smoked this one night. This is like maybe like a week or two later. I smoke, and then I'm having that same fucking panic again. And for some reason, like I'm struggling to remind myself that it's just in my head, but the same thing happened again. I was shaking, I was sweating, I was cold, I was getting pale, and like my heart was just racing. And I went outside because my mom, she usually sits outside in the front yard under the tree, and she just like sits out there. And I went out there and I was like, Mom, I need your help. And she held my hand and she was calming me down. She was calming me down. She was telling me that it's all in the head and that I'm okay. And she told me, she was like, Tito, you have to stop smoking. Like anytime you smoke, like you're gonna think of that night because of how traumatic it was for you. And I just didn't want to accept the fact that I had to stop smoking because smoking became my whole personality. Like smoking became my brand. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, all of my videos before the last couple of ones were like doing this high, like faded at the thrift store, baking while bake, like literally my whole brand. And I just didn't want to accept that I like had to stop smoking. And after that night, I'd calmed down, went to bed, and then I want to say maybe like another week later, I tried smoking again, and the same thing. I was like tweaking, and oh my god, if you guys see my cats in the background, just ignore them. But the same thing happened again. Like I was tweaking, and I just remember like that final straw. I was like, girl, I'm done. I'm done smoking. It like doesn't even do anything for me. And I remember just before in the past, I've always wanted to quit, but I never couldn't. I always thought that my life was going to be miserable without it. And I thought that I wasn't going to be able to laugh or smile without it. And see, when you have those thoughts, it's kind of like, okay, girl, you have a problem. Like, why are you thinking that you're gonna be miserable and that your life is gonna be so much more boring without it? Like it's literally the addiction telling you to not stop, and it's the addiction telling you whatever it is you want to hear in order for you to continue smoking. And girl, I did not want to stop. I'm telling you that right now. I did not want to quit smoking. And so after that last time, I just remember being high and being like, that's it. Like, I hate fucking feeling the anxiety. The anxiety is kicking my ass right now so fucking bad. And that was almost 2 weeks ago. I want to say, um, did I say 10 days or 11 days? I think I'm 11 days. I'm 11 days sober. And it's just so crazy to me because I never in a million years thought that I could be sober again. I haven't been 10 days sober in years, I want to say. It's been years since I've gone this long without smoking, and I'm really fucking proud of myself, and I feel so different. And guys, this is just my story. Do that what you will. Is that what they say? I don't know how they say it, but you guys can take something from this, but I'm not trying to like push you guys to go sober or anything, because girl, if I could still be smoking right now and not be tweaking, girl, I'll be getting lit. But I can't. And these past 10 days, 11 days have been amazing. I feel like I'm getting back to a place that I've missed, and I don't know, I just feel like myself again in a way. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't miss it, because I do, but I know that being sober is gonna open up a lot of opportunities for myself, and I know that it's gonna help me like in the long run. And I'm just very excited to see what life is gonna be like in the future, because if I'm only 11 days sober right now and I feel this good, I can't imagine like after the 30-day period, because they say that weed or the THC stays in your system for at least like 31 days or 30 something days. So like, even though I haven't smoked, like it's still in my system and I do kind of still feel the effects of it. But as for like the withdrawals and the effects of it, I haven't really had like any bad withdrawals. The only thing I want to say is that well, I mean, I already get headaches like regularly and stuff, but I think I've gotten like 2 headaches like just in the past like almost 2 weeks. And I don't know if it's just because of me or because like I stopped smoking, but that's really the only thing. Because I feel like when I was going into this, I already knew that I wanted to be sober. So I wasn't like sitting here being like, joint, give me the joint. I'm not fiending for it, you know? Like, I'm not like dying for like a smoke. And so, oh shit, hold on, sorry guys. So, I think that's why like I'm not really having like that bad like of withdrawals and stuff. But I honestly, like, I thought that I was gonna struggle a lot more. I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to sleep. I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to enjoy food the way I did, or I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to laugh and have a good time. Because me, what I like glamorized about smoking is I thought that it made every situation funny, and I love just being high and just watching funny movies and just laughing with my partner. And I thought that I wasn't gonna be able to do that sober. But girl, shit, I've been fucking laughing my ass off. I've been fucking eating, girl. Like, I've been eating good. Like, I think that's like I think that like that's just me. Like, I thought that the whole time that the weed was the thing that was making me like be this way, but girl, that's me. Like, the weed was just bringing that out of me. But girl, the weed ain't shit. Like, I'm still me. I'm still the same way that I was when I smoked, and I just thought that I wasn't gonna be able to be this way. But I I just can't believe that I'm 11 days sober. I never thought that I could get to this spot, and like I'm just really fucking happy about that. But that's what has been going on like the past 2 months, and it was really like a big eye opener for me. I actually have an appointment with a therapist coming up soon. I've never been to therapy. Actually, I have been to therapy like a couple times when I was younger, because remember how I said that like when I was earlier I kind of like struggled with anxiety a little bit. So it's like been a reoccurring thing, and I just remember being younger and just like crying a lot, and my parents like took me to like a therapist a couple times. But after that, I never went back, and I'm gonna go back to see if they can kind of diagnose me, or kind of like just um like confirm that it is anxiety. And I'm also having another appointment with, I believe it's like my primary care physician, and they're gonna do blood work on me and make sure that like all my levels in blood and everything. I don't know what they're gonna look for, but they're gonna see if like my heart like has any problems, or they're gonna try to they're just gonna dive deeper into like maybe if like something caused that or what. But I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna take more care of myself, because I don't want to. It's better to catch something early on than later in life, so I just want to get ahead of that. But I'm just really glad that I'm just taking that step forward into the right direction to care for myself, because I don't know, I just don't want to continue struggling. Like if there's help out there, like why not get it? And I just want to say again that if you guys are struggling with anything, like please talk to someone, because just even like saying the words out loud and like acknowledging how you feel can make you feel better. And I know sometimes you can think that there's nobody there, or that nobody's gonna want to listen to you, or that you're gonna like bore someone with how you're feeling. But don't even think about that. Like you just go talk to them, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, your best friend, talk to whoever, and just like be honest with yourself. Like acknowledge the problem, confront it, and like I can guarantee you that you're gonna feel better about yourself. And if that's not enough if that's not enough, go see someone, like go to therapy. I haven't tried it yet, but I know some people that have, and they told me that it really worked out for them. So I'm gonna just like try and get to the root of the problem and figure out like what's causing all of this, because like we don't know it all. Like we try to figure it out on our own, but who knows, like maybe we don't like really get it. So do that. And then also too, I hope that whoever's watching this and is listening to my story can kind of take something from it, and just I hope that I could give you guys some sort of comfort knowing that like, oh shit, like I'm not the only one, like he struggles with it too. And I know that's something that really worked for me. And um yeah, but that's what has been going on with my life recently. I really just wanted to sit here and just talk about how I'm feeling, because like I sometimes I do feel alone, but I know that I'm not alone, especially after seeing how my family was to me that night. It really just like opened up my eyes and made me want to just be better. But guys, there's like you could journal too. Like I've been journaling a lot more recently as well, and even that alone, like just writing down your thoughts can help release some like stress, or just like clear your head a little bit. Because if you sit on something and you just think, I don't know how you guys operate, but for me, I'm an overthinker. I overthink literally everything. I'm thinking about the future, and I'm never thinking about the present moment. And journaling can help with that, amongst a lot of other things. But yeah, if you're watching, just take this as a sign. and remind yourself that you're not alone and that there's people that love you, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because the minute you do that, you're acknowledging the problem and you're heading towards the right direction. So yeah. um Thank you guys so much for listening to my first episode. I hope that I can come back with like some more experiences that will help you guys out, or just share more about my life. And if you guys liked my vibe and you guys are interested in seeing more of me, subscribe to my channel, my podcast, and you could also find it on Spotify and Apple. I believe it's like Apple Podcasts, but you could find me on there as well as like this YouTube channel. And also go check out my second channel where I upload my vlogs and other videos. I'm gonna be more consistent because I really want this to be like my career, and I know that it's not gonna get anywhere on its own, so I really have to put in the work. But I have a lot of fun videos coming up that I have planned, and a lot more episodes of this podcast coming up. So if you want to keep up with me, check those out. And then I also have my social medias linked down below, my TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that stuff. But yeah, this concludes my first episode of Just Chris's podcast, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.